The new year's here is January 2nd, 2025, and the Bolivar Beach Parking passes have expired. Come along with me as I head to the peninsula and we'll get some new beach passes and we'll explain why we've got to do this.
Living in a van down by the river, singing loud. No times, no change, just the rolling clouds. Freedom tastes real sweet when you're nothing to give. Living in a van down by the river's where I live, where I live.
Galveston Transtar estimated an 18-minute wait. Actual time was 30 minutes, and now we're boarding the ferry. A little excessive, yes, but it's going to get a whole lot worse on the way back. So the 18-minute wait was a half hour. That's not a surprise. The information Transtar gives on ferry times is never right. And the ferry loading, unloading is just inefficient. But it's what we have to deal with. There's no bridge between Galveston and Bolivar, and I don't want to drive all the way around, basically to nearly Louisiana, to come back in on I-10 around Beaumont on the other end of the peninsula. It would take me a whole lot longer. So, although it is a pretty drive, and we'll probably take that drive one of these days, but I'm not going to do the tour of the ferry today. That's going to come later, but we'll get to the other side and I'll show you the whole deal about getting those stickers. The whole process of going through and loading and unloading and waiting in line, there's an awful lot of waiting that has to happen here. Good thing is I had some good music with me and I had some time. This is not something you want to do if you're in a hurry. There's some, I'm not going to call it gorgeous scenery, but there is some scenery to look at. There are some historical sites close by here, but we're not stopping for those today. And let's just time loop this up and get into Christmas. We're going to head on in. Pretty sure the staff doesn't want to be videoed, so I'm going to go in and do my business. I'll be right back out. And grocery store fried chicken. They gave me a roll, which I wasn't expecting, and a soft drink. That's my lunch. So what's the purpose here? Well, let's read it. Thank you for purchasing a beach parking permit. The revenues collected from the beach parking program are used to provide and enhance beach-related services on Bolivar Beach. Valid placement permanently affixes sticker to the inside lower right side of the vehicle's front windshield. Okay, well, the SUV is done. Now it's time to go home and do the camper. So I love the big store, this Ace Hardware in Bolivar, but at the same time, I understand they're not a high budget operation, but they have some issues. This facility is far from ADA compliant. The publicly available restrooms, the only means of ingress and egress to them is via a set of short stairs. Wheelchair's not going to be able to make it up. The parking space that I'm in, I didn't realize until after I got back into the car, there's very, very, very washed out, faded blue paint under here. I can only assume that this is supposed to be a disabled parking spot. The markings are almost completely illegible. I didn't realize it, that I was in this as a disabled spot until after I got back. Most of the parking space markings are just gone or barely there. They have some maintenance to do. It's a small operation. I get it. I'm not trying to force them into anything, but there's some people that make their living by suing places like this for non-compliance with ADA standards. I would hope that they get into compliance. I don't think it's going to be a big priority for them until somebody comes and makes a pain in the butt of themselves and takes them for money that they really don't need to be pulling out of this community. I just hope they do the right thing, but I don't see it happening for a while. Well, glasses are on. Seatbelt's about to go back on. Dash cam's recording. We're about to head back. Okay, so my low fuel light just came on. Apparently I forgot to gas up. That's okay. I've got to get across on the ferry, and there's gas stations in Galveston that are far cheaper than here on Bolivar. When I hit the low fuel warning, it's basically at around 1/8 of a tank. I'm good. I'm not going 50 plus miles on a low fuel light. So I've just got to get across the ferry, and here we go. We had an hour and 15-minute wait for the ferry at the Port Bolivar landing. It's supposed to be an 18-minute wait. I swear the ferry is just hooking it across the bay. So I think they're trying to make up for some lost time. I think we've got more traffic flow than they were anticipating. As soon as I hit the bay side, I knew there was the Port Bolivar side on the trip over, I knew there was going to be trouble because they were way behind. Traffic was backed up better part of a mile, so I knew they were going to have some trouble catching up. There's 3 boats running. Honestly, to deal with the load, they really should be running at least 4 boats, if not 5. There are 6 available. It's I'm glad that the ferry's here, and it did save me some time, maybe. It definitely saved me gas and mileage, and I didn't have to put up with driving through Houston. So there's a lot to be said about that. So there's 2 primary ways to get from the landing in Galveston back to I-45 heading north. Take Harborside Drive, take Broadway. Broadway is the prettier route, Harborside's faster. Because of the delays in the ferry, I need to make time. I'm going up Harborside. And now, the more important vehicle to put the sticker on, the camper van. So, the sticker, see if you fold it, has that seam, and that's where you peel the backing up. And, okay, I can't get a view of that, but it's going right in that corner. The beach parking permit for 2025 on the camper van. All right, well, when I come back, we'll discuss a little more about it. The purpose of the Bolivar Beach Parking Permit program is as stated on the permit itself, to raise revenue for funding beach-related services, including beach cleanup and environmental protection. As Bolivar Peninsula, and in particular Crystal Beach, have become much more popular destinations in the past 20 plus years, there have been a variety of issues caused by the visitors. Litter by the ton, unruly visitors causing congestion, and violence. During the Bolivar Jeep Beach weekend in 2024, reports I have seen in local media show that there were 100,000 people in attendance to this unofficial event, overwhelming the local community, causing local businesses to shut down and local residents to flee to escape the crowds. There were a reported 300 arrests and at least one fatal shooting. This beach parking permit program isn't seeking to keep visitors away, although I'm certain the community does want to limit the Jeep Beach Weekend in particular, as that does get out of hand. Bolivar does, however, rely on tourism to survive. It just seeks to put some of the burden the visitors are causing in regards to cleanup and law enforcement expenses back onto those same visitors. The early bird pricing for the permits in January and February is just $5 per permit. I got 2 of them. And this encourages people, whether by intent or by accident, mostly anglers and winter campers, who by their very nature are going to want to keep the beach, the environment that they're spending time in, clean. They're not coming and going and not coming back. They want to come and go back to a clean environment. As a fisherman, I want an environment where I know the fish that I'm going after are going to feel welcome, have a clean source, and not be chased out. These are the people that are more likely to be picking up other people's garbage. And I don't know if they're intentionally trying to encourage people to do it, but that's the effect. So after March 1st, that price tag goes up $15. Permits are good from January 1st through December 31st of that same calendar year, which I get a chuckle out of because nowhere is open to sell or purchase a permit on January 1st. They all start to open again on January 2nd. So I guess anyone parking on a Bolivar Beach on January 1st is doing so illegally without a permit. Okay, that's it. That's the information I've got for you. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I gave you a little bit of entertainment. I thank you for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. Like I try to tell you every time, get out there, be productive, be busy, be safe, but most of all, be blessed. I'll talk to you later.